Hello.
Hi, Heather.
What's going on?
Thank you, Amy. Love and miss you.
Oh, look, I like that they've got some comments over there. They can see.
Yay.
Guys, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Hi,
So
April.
we're gonna do a little transition
Erica.
today from
Hi,
Kevin to
Kay.
Alyssa. We're gonna be doing some talking. What's up, Kaylee Cook?
Kaylee.
Thank you for being
Is that
here.
the Orange Crush
Josh and
shirt?
Amanda, thank you. What is it?
Mandy and Josh asked if that's your Orange Crush
I
shirt.
know I only wear I've got like a lot of shirts and I wear three of them like nonstop. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But yes, it's
It's
that one.
because they get washed and put on top, so they can just grab them right when they
No,
need it. Just
no,
right
actually,
on
because
top.
it's one of the most comfortable. Number one, I like orange. Number two, it's really comfortable. It fits. It's a good size for me, so I end up doing that a lot.
The
So that's
Denver
good.
Broncos
But
drink. Yay.
that's right, babe. Can you call their names up because I
Yeah.
don't have it hooked up to another monitor today, and I can't see
Thank you
the
for the
the
flowers,
stuff way back there.
Boo
What's going on, guys? Really exciting. So we're on a
Really,
couple new
thank you.
platforms starting today. So number one, we're also live. What? Wait.
Heather got extensions
You know
today.
what? I saw those in
I'm
Discord.
so excited to see.
Yeah, I saw those on Discord. So guys, if you're not part of our Discord, you want to be, you can
Hey,
go and access it
Josie.
right through the link tree. You can click on Discord
Hey,
and
Taylor.
sign up and participate and communicate with amazing people
Shannon.
like Heather and
Terry.
Joanne, where they're sharing pictures and talking about amazing
Oh,
things.
not just one.
So you're welcome to do that as well. But we're also live streaming today for the first time on two new platforms. One of them is called Trovo, and you can find us there at Alyssa underscore, I'm sorry, trans underscore Alyssa. And we're also live streaming right now on Rumble, which does not allow the underscore.
Thank
So it's
you.
just trans Alyssa if you're going to watch us on Rumble. So I'm pretty excited to see what that's like.
Hold
I
on.
think it's probably a little different demographic.
Why did Heather just get blocked? Hold on. What's the deal here? Who's blocking?
You know what? The craziest stuff. Yeah, maybe I should just go into um, the settings and just take out all the moderators because
Hold on.
it's the craziest stuff.
Oh, I'll go.
What is Rumble? So Rumble is it's just another platform. It's another platform like
You're
TikTok.
Okay.
So is she good now? Yeah. So moderators, really, the way that we like the environment protected is we like people to be able to stay here that are being respectful. It's not important to us that everybody agrees with us. You definitely can ask the questions, ask the tough questions if you want, but ask them in a respectful way and stick around so you and I can have some good dialogue. If you have 1,000 followers and you would like to join my live, and maybe we can discuss some things that maybe we don't see completely eye to eye on, and let's show the world how respectful communication happens. I know that this transgender thing's a tough thing to understand. I know it's a tough thing to wrap your arms around, and there's a lot of fear around that. So, I would love for people to join me on the live and just say, look, here's really our fear. This is the danger of normalizing transgender. This is the danger of whatever. And we talk those issues through because the quicker we get through those issues, the quicker that everyone gets treated just a little bit better. So, right now, I'm dressed as Kevin, but I have eyeliner on. And this is my wife, Alyssa Andrea, of 26 years. And I'm going to transition in from Kevin to Alyssa, and we're going to talk about some things. And hopefully it's going to be, a pretty good time. But thank you for being here with us. We do have, guys, I want to recognize some Patreon supporters really quick. So we have some Patreon supporters, and you've got a level 1, level 2, and level 3. Susan, Anisha, and Stephanie, and then over at level 2. Michelle, thank you so much, guys, for your support. We appreciate it. We're trying to do some amazing things, and that's very, very helpful. Also, the products that I'm using today, you're going to be able to find on our link tree if you go right to our storefront. So I'll be using a lot of really amazing products that are not very expensive. And if you want to know what those are, you're welcome to just go over and look and see what they are. And you can even link to them. Guys, most of the stuff I use is $10 stuff. It's just not expensive stuff. I spend more money on skincare products than I do on makeup. So, that's where we're at. Babe, if you have any,
I'm going to see her cute extensions.
okay, but
Oh, cute.
what kind
I
of
love
Premier
them.
Shake do you have? They want to know what kind of Premier Shake you have.
It's just the chocolate. I
That's just
enjoy all of
wrong in too
them.
many ways. You
Chocolate.
were born a man,
I like the
boy, and
caramel
that will never
coffee.
change, dude. Does that say April? Is that April? April, well, let's talk about this. Let's talk number one, why what I want to wear. Why is that important to you?
Mm,
Number one, let's talk about that. Um,
that's some good questions.
yeah,
Okay,
and if you have a
so
thousand followers, April, then let's go live and discuss it. That would be. It's so easy to sit behind a keyboard and peck out weird stuff. So let's go live and let's have a conversation about whatever it is that really is challenging you. But if who I am challenges who you are, the problem is not me. So let's talk that through.
we have a user that says, "Hi, I'm trans. Any advice on
Yay.
HRT? I'm just starting treatment."
Any advice? No, that's great. Congratulations on HRT. You
Do
know,
it.
do it. Yeah, your body knows what you need, and your body will also determine, the levels that you need. I've been on hormones for about 7 years, long before I came out, publicly. And hormones have been the difference in my health for sure. Dressing's the difference in my happiness, but hormones is the difference in my health. Okay, let's just get going with some
Yay.
makeup right away, babe. You
Okay.
can talk and
I
answer
will.
questions, and I'm just going to barrel through the makeup. But if anybody's willing to go live, babe, would you just watch that right there? And if somebody's willing to go
Sure.
live and have respectful conversation, that would be amazing. All right,
Okay.
let's transition here. I'm going to take this hat off so you can see me doing my makeup a little bit.
I like Shane's comment. I don't see why it matters to who you truly are as long as you're happy.
There you go. Thank you,
So
thank you,
great.
Shane. That's such a secure uh, perspective. That's such a mature
Yeah.
perspective. Like, okay,
Good
that sounds
one.
good. Okay, so I've already put on the foundation already, and I'm using this CoverGirl Clean is what I'm using, and I really really like this. It's cheap. It's I don't know
Thank you.
$5 or $6. It's not that much money, but it does go on very very clean. It smells like
Thank
Noxzema.
you for the
I
gift.
always put it on a clean palette. So I clean my face well. I use a primer beforehand. I've already put the primer on. Today I'm using this e.l.f. primer, which is really, really a good primer, especially on your eyelids.
Aw,
I've got these like Teflon eyelids and stuff just slides off. So this is really good
Hi,
for keeping the
Sandy.
makeup on your face.
Hi, Lauren.
My
Thank
face is like a
you.
water slide for makeup, like that. All right, so I've already got that on. I did put a little bit of liner. I put some,
What's your color number?
well, my color number was 145. They don't make that anymore. So this one happens to be, does it say 148?
148.
So this one is 148. 145 is what I've used up until they stopped making it recently. So
Always
I've got a little bit of eyeliner on right now,
happen.
but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some mascara drying, and then I'm gonna start working on my brows.
Oh, hold on. Sean's calling. Somebody said we should do each other's makeup.
I,
That would be
yeah,
so fun.
we should do
Together,
that.
like I'll do your foundation, you do mine. We could just like go and
Yeah.
stress and see.
You know
Okay,
what? It's been a
I'm gonna
minute.
answer this.
Okay,
What's your
it's been a minute
hello?
since I've done your makeup, especially live.
There was a code.
There was a code that came in. So if you go to that, it doesn't stop the live to get that code, right?
Will it stop the live?
I'll try.
It
Okay,
should.
here it is. The code is
Okay.
484350.
484350.
Sorry, guys, we got to get the Instagram streaming, and that's what's happening right now. Sorry, we needed a code in order to get the Instagram streaming, and so that's what happened right there. I'm sure it probably paused, so I apologize for that. Thank you, Dre, for handling that.
That's easy. All right.
This mascara is Maybelline. Again, you can find all of these products. This is the Falsies Lash Lift. You can find all these products right on the link tree. I just put that back in there. I
How
never
do
do
you
that.
color match? Do you do it on your wrist, your arm, your face, your neck?
I do it on my face
Yeah.
because my depending on my time in the sun, my arms could be a lot darker. Even my hands can be a lot darker than my face.
Mhm. French tips are cute, they said.
Oh, thank you.
A lot of Alyssa's hair are human wigs, but some of them are not. Just depends on which ones. She has both and she likes both. So
Yeah, I'll wear whatever you want. I have 2 human hairs that I can wear tonight, and about 12 other not human hairs.
Oh,
I'm gonna end up putting on a couple of
hi,
coats
Sharon.
of mascara. But the way this is, I realize that I'm going off of camera to put that on. So let me fix that. I'm gonna put the camera on you because you're gorge.
Oh,
I'm gonna pull the mirror back over here
thank
so I don't go
you.
out of the shot every single minute.
Ooh, you know what?
What?
This is a question we've never had before.
Yay!
Do you name your wigs?
I don't. I have not named my wigs.
Hmm.
I know that a lot of people do. Um, one wig, I was gonna name them, and I started to assign names to it, but then I started doing different things, and I felt so much different than that name I had signed. I signed it, and so I'm like, no, I think I want the flexibility of pulling it back or doing this or still haven't. So no, I haven't named them, but it's not a terrible idea to do
Yeah.
that.
We both have favorites. Why don't you grow your own hair out?
But I would enjoy that.
I think she would have really, really thick, full hair.
You think so?
Yes, because your sisters have full hair, your dad has just had a whole, full head of hair, your mom has tons of hair, and they have naturally curly, and it's just lots
Sorry.
of volume. And I think it'll work
I
out.
would enjoy that. That would take forever, and I do like the variety. I like the variety. Hey, look, thank you for
Oh,
that
thanks for
hat.
the hat, Boo.
I do like the variety of putting on a pink wig or a blonde wig or
That's cute.
red wig. I do like the flexibility, but to say even if I had my own hair, I still could put on a wig. I would just use a cap,
Yeah.
and I could still do that. So it would be fun. But I'm Kevin so much that
Thank you, Aaron.
the short hair just works better when I'm in a suit. So when I'm in a suit, I kind of prefer short hair. All right, I'm going to work on the brows. The brows, I want to put up with the spoolie first.
Shelby, you can ask a question. How do our families feel about this? Well, it kind of depends on who you ask or how you're asking.
It's hard to understand. It's a very difficult thing to understand. Our families love both of us very much. Our families would do whatever they could to support us. That doesn't mean that our families understand it or agree with it or don't think that it is, I don't know, maybe deviant, but that is not necessarily their own opinion. I think that they've got their own opinion, and that's okay. I can't find my brow brush.
This, not these ones. Shoot.
No, yeah.
May I ask, do you feel and act more feminine as you apply your makeup?
Yes.
Transition to be more of a feminine look.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%.
Oh, Shelby, I'm trying to find.
It's so crazy.
Oh, somebody asked, how do we talk to each other during the transition? We just have to be fully honest. We just got to make sure we know where each other's at. And I do talk differently to Kevin and Allyssa. So it's just kind of, I know where Allyssa, yeah. I can see their differences when I talk to both of them. And you'll see the difference too once Alyssa's fully done up.
You know what?
See the beautiful bright eyes and the pretty smile and just how vibrant she is.
Thank you, babe.
Yes.
You know what? I cannot find. I don't know what happened to that other brush, so I'm going to use a different one. I'm going to use this really thin one. I was hoping to use this thick one, but I'm going to try one other thing.
Ooh, babe, do you remember the first time you put makeup on?
First time I put makeup on, like full out makeup.
And how you felt? Yeah. Like, do you remember putting it on and
Yeah.
Remembering the feeling? She probably smiled like that.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that, and it was, I had no idea what I was doing, um, and I did all wrong, and it was a catastrophe, and it just couldn't have been a better catastrophe. Like I couldn't have looked worse and felt better. Like
Cute.
it just, yeah. So for the first few times, it was very educational, but always very healthy for me.
Yes. Thank you, Oaks. Do you like Ulta Beauty products? I feel like it's a hit or miss.
This is a hit, and I would recommend you get this. This black that I use
If you
is
can
is
find it.
is one of the best black pigments that I found anywhere. And this is not a really expensive palette. I think it's probably $20 or something, maybe a little bit more. But yes, the pigments in this palette are just on point. They go on so well. They stay good.
I am doing good. Thank you for asking. Um,
I didn't take the black out of this brush before I put the brown in. This is going to create an interesting
you
scenario.
guys can go ahead and ask your questions. Just make sure they're just, nice. Alyssa did get her nose pierced. Yes.
Oh, can you see this little blue thing?
Mm.
No, I changed it last week on the live. I changed it out to this really, really cute sunflower. And I was saying, I've never had any problems with my piercings because I always put antibiotic ointment on them. I keep very clean. And so I just don't have any problem. And so I put that in there, but I had to take it out and I put a different one in and I actually did get a sore nose. I think there's probably maybe a little bit of infection in there, or at least there was. And that's just so funny since I just got done telling you all that doesn't happen to me.
Hi, everyone on Twitch. Mm.
So today I'm going to go with a longer, skinnier brow down the side, and it's going to give me a little bit more area in here to work with as far as the shadow goes.
Oh, thank you, Paulette. Thank you, Mandy. Mandy Tuttle, that's so nice of you.
Hmm.
Johnny asked, how and when did you tell your wife?
Hmm. Go ahead, maybe, yeah.
Oh, you want me to? Well, in the beginning, before we were married, um, she was Kevin, and he said that he was very attracted to feminine things and it made him happy. And I was like, okay. And then things progressed and I was able to help a little bit here and there to try to make her feel more feminine and that as time went by we figured this is not something that is going to go away. We need to talk and consider and venture out and go from there. So, but we've known but didn't have a label until, the label was available to us. It was before the internet, before Google, before, we were reading encyclopedias back then. We didn't have cell phones back then. So,
But it's a great question.
yeah.
And
Hi from
the
UK.
answer is not completely fair. The answer is not fair because it alludes to, hey, I came out and said, hey, look, this is who I am. This is what you can expect. This is what you need to plan for. So, and that's not how it was at all. It just wasn't that. In fact, I have a timeline that I created that we can go over and talk about some of these things, answer some of the questions that I get. But the reality is there wasn't that moment of, hey, look, at some point will you be willing to give up, any portion of Kevin? That conversation didn't happen. So, we've had a lot of the same friction that a lot of couples have. That's just a reality. So I don't want it to seem like I was this super forthcoming person and there were no surprises, even though I didn't withhold it from her. At the same time, neither one of us knew what to expect with this and what that would mean in the long run. 26 years ago when we got married, I surely didn't think that I'd be sitting on here next to her doing makeup in front of the whole world. I didn't know that would even be, an opportunity.
Yes.
It's a great question. Thank you.
Oaks asked, when dressed as Alyssa, are you both ever scared about the thought of people confronting you because of the crazy world? in the beginning, we always thought that, which is why we did it amongst ourselves. Like it was just, the both of us. We didn't go out a lot until, it was more acceptable, per se.
Mm-hmm.
And we were closer to Las Vegas that, everyone, it's a lot more accepting there. And so we were able to go there a little bit here and there. Not a lot, but, with kids and trying to, balance family life, school, work, all the things. We were able to do a few things. Yeah. When she is Kevin, her pronouns are different. So I address Kevin as Kevin, he, and when Allyssa is, presenting as Allyssa, I approach her as, Allyssa, and she, her.
I know it sounds
Or
very
they, them.
it sounds very confusing, but it's really not. If you were to meet me on the street and I was dressed as Alyssa, you would refer to me as she, hopefully naturally. And if I was Kevin, then you would address me as he. So it really is not as scary as people make it out to be. But I also understand why it's scary, because there's so many people that if you use a mispronoun, they become unwound and they take it as a personal attack, and that's just not where we're at. We know that you have to understand it before you can get it right. And the bottom line is, if the person is presenting feminine, refer to them as she until they correct you. And if they correct you, then you respectfully change. It's just really not that difficult. But respectful communication, I mean, gosh, respect is the currency required to further communication. So,
thanks, Oaks. Oaks said, just know if anyone says hateful things, your TikTok family loves you both.
oh, thank you so much. Our TikTok family is the best. This is the best neighborhood. Scott, thank you. Scott,
thank you, Christy.
Always there, always the best.
Did the kids always kind of know? They didn't. We thought they kind of had suspicions, but when we asked if they knew, they just were like, oh, that kind of explains a lot. It explains the wigs that you never wore. It explains the shoes that were too big for you. All the clothes that you never wore but were hanging in there, but they weren't always in the same place. So they're like, oh, okay.
So some dots connected for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blend this out in just a minute. So right now I just want to push that up in there, and then I'm gonna blend that out before I put on the false eyelashes. I took this black pigmented eyeshadow and I pushed it up into my upper lash line, right, so that it met with the eyeliner. That way when I put on these false eyelashes in a second, if it's a gap, if I don't glue them on perfectly right there or tight, it will not expose that gap, and it'll still look like this really full luscious lash. So that's why I put that on there first. Now I'll blend that out.
Have you spoken to any of your ex-coworkers?
Oh, there's some. Yes, yeah. I speak to ex-coworkers occasionally, maybe more than occasionally, and they've just been amazing.
Kyle is on. Hi, Kyle.
Kyle's on. We never ended up doing that. We were going to get on with Kyle, and he was going to teach us how to do drag makeup. I like to put on just a little bit underneath the eye too. I wish I would point this differently, so I feel like I'm completely out of the deal. What did Kyle say, hon?
Oh, just said hi.
Oh, Kyle, thank you.
Shelby Knight asked, do you walk in the light?
Do I walk in the light?
I don't know.
I think so. My answer is yes. I walk in the light. I walk in my light. I don't know that I walk in everybody's light, but I can't be concerned with everybody. What other people need is their business, and I surely would not meddle into their business what they need, but I absolutely walk in my own light, yes. See, I'm just trying to get that any kind of lines out of there. I also went down underneath here. I want to take it out. I want to kind of make if I were just drawing, then I'd be making this kind of a shape with my eye that you won't really be able to see. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it kind of gives a shape like a little bit more like this.
Was it hard to have the conversation with the kid when I told them?
Look at this eyebrows, like way off. It was very scary. It was very scary, and then the kids made it so amazing. It was it was a little bit difficult. However, the reaction was so much better than I had even hoped for. You know, that's a conversation that we were afraid to have for a very long time. So when it finally happened, I mean, it was a relief, but the kids just took it amazing. And that doesn't mean that they understood it. That doesn't mean they accept it. I don't want to say accept it, um, but but they've been incredible. Do I wish I would have come out to them sooner because it went so good? No, no, because I want them to have a normal traditional experience as much as possible before my reality um, changes that for them.
Someone asked how they would address you right now.
Halfway through,
Hmm.
well, here's the good news with me. It wouldn't matter how you address me. It wouldn't be offensive at all. You could say Kevin. You could say Alyssa. You could say that. It wouldn't matter to me at all. But that is not the case with most people. So most transgender people are going to show you one appearance. They're going to give you one identity, and that's how they want to be addressed. Well, I can't do a transition and go from Kevin to Alyssa without an in between period somewhere.
Sure.
It's somewhere in there. There has to be this moment when I'm more one than the other. And so, is that moment right now? Maybe. So if you were to call me Kevin, that sounds great. To me, the important thing is that I'm putting makeup on. That's
Mhm.
important. So your name for me
Sure.
is less important than you being here, than your friendship, than your communication. That's much more important for me.
Yes.
I feel like this didn't blend very well in here. Typically, I would put a highlighter right below my brow to really highlight the brow, and I would blend it in right here. I didn't do that because of time today, because I want to
Mhm.
hurry and change. But I am going to just try to blend this out. I'm not scraping it. I'm kind of pushing it. I'm kind of moving it around by pushing it so I don't make big changes in it and don't pull the product off that I just took all that time putting on.
A lot of people have asked if we are married. Yes, we are married, and we have been married for 26 years. Somebody asked how old our kids are. Our oldest is 22, and we have a almost 20 and a almost 16, and our grandbaby is a little over 18 months. And I won't, that's all.
So I'm going to go right from the top of my ear down below my
Thank you,
cheekbone for me.
Megan.
So I know that the trend right now is to do
Thank you,
a
Oaks.
really high contour. But what I found is that I like the shape of my face with a little bit lower contour. Put some depth into the middle of my cheeks has worked has done a little bit better for me. And then I'm going to blend this up into my hairline right here, which is going to help look more natural with my wig in just a few minutes as well.
Oh, thank you. I am Hurricane. That was such a nice comment. Thank you.
What was it?
She says I'm usually a quiet viewer, but I just wanted to say hi. I
Oh,
can't remember, it went too far.
thank you for being here, and thank you for being a viewer. And I hope that you say everything
That
that
you
you want to
guys
say.
bring me peace. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
I love that.
That's so
I love
sweet.
that. If you did nothing every day but bring somebody peace, is that not leaving the world just a little bit different, a little
Thank
bit
you,
better?
Megan. She
Thank you for
says you're
being
so
here.
inspirational.
Oh my gosh, Megan, thank
Gina,
you.
you two are the best. Oh,
You.
you look so young.
She's,
Thank
can you
you.
believe she's like the inventor of oil Olay? She's incredible. I'm going to blend this out in a second, but I just want to get this a little bit even. I'm going to just do a little bit of contour around the bottom right here, just because my face is so wide. So I'm going to kind of go underneath here from the bottom of my lobe, kind of straight down. I'll create the illusion of a little bit more of a point, a little more. So I'm kind of
Thank
doing
you, who
this,
knows.
and then I'm going to push it out. So that line I just put in, I need to take it off now. I need to blend it back out now.
Somebody asked if it got easier to do your makeup, or were you just that good? Oh, thank you for that
Um,
gift. The pug, how cute.
no, I'm not that good. I'm still not that good. I still try new things all of the time, but it was just such a pleasure to learn. Like there was never I never said, "Oh, that's right" or "that's wrong." I always went,
Mhm.
"Ooh, that's good" or "that's different," or I may not do that again.
Hi,
But it's
Jody.
never I've never had a fail with the makeup. It may not I may have
Oh,
never
thank
done
you,
that look
Amy.
again, but it's never a fail.
It's true. And she has a lot of good hacks.
I just got there we go. All right, now I need to blend this out so you can't actually see the line. But really all I did is just a little bit
Hmm.
like this. I'm gonna go a little bit under my chin just to create the shadow when I look up and laugh. Okay, so now that I've started to contour a little bit,
Serious
you know,
question.
now when I look in the mirror, um, I do start to feel differently. And so it gets easier for me now to start speaking from my upper diaphragm. You know, until now I speak from the lower diaphragm and I have a lot of but at some point when I look in the mirror and I go, hey there you, then it starts to become more natural to speak a little bit higher, and you're gonna probably start hearing that now. I'm gonna do some contour along my nose too, so it's gonna be very, very fast.
This is a good question. Do you find it hard to be Kevin if Dre needs you when you're dressed as Alyssa?
Do I find it hard to be Kevin if
We
you need
haven't
me as Alyssa?
we haven't really had that. I have told Kevin I need to talk to Alyssa.
Kevin is maybe not as good of a listener as Alyssa is, as it turns out. So because they're different. They're not different personalities, but they are different viewpoints or different perspectives. There's different priorities,
Mhm.
and Alyssa can relate on levels that Kevin just doesn't as naturally.
Max, I picked Alyssa's name for her about, I guess, gosh, 10, 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
You know what? In just a minute,
Is
I'm gonna
this
tell you.
some sort of multi-personality disorder?
It feels that way, right? It feels that way. But let's talk about that for a second because I've thought to myself, hey, are you schizophrenic? But the reality is it's not. It's everybody is acting every day, right? You don't want to be to work. You get up, you put on a happy face, and you go do what you got to do. Well, when you want to look pretty, but you don't get that option to look pretty, then you act as good as you can with the face, with the clothes, with the presentation that you have. So that when you do go and get to present the way that you feel and a natural happiness comes out, you do act different. You do have a different personality. You respond from a different sense of gratitude and appreciation and affection for those around you sharing that moment with you. So it does feel like multiple personalities because there are multiple perspectives for sure. I vibrate at a different frequency depending on how I'm dressed for sure. So it may have been meant as a as an offensive question, but it really wasn't because it does come with different personalities.
It's like when Alyssa wears a different wig, it kind of like brings out a different vibe. It's not like you have a multiple personality. It's just you have multiple options. I don't
Multiple options. I
know.
like it. You know what? I didn't put on any blush whatsoever, but
Mm,
that's okay. I just want to get through this right here. I'm just doing one straight line here. If I were to go all the way down and do this here, this is what I do. Then I take this straight down here. Remember, I'm trying to get a more sleek V-line face. I'm trying to get a skinnier face instead of this garage door that I was born with. So if I go straight down here and right here, I'm gonna take a little bit lighter shade. I'm gonna go on my forehead, just kind of right between my eyes. I don't do a lot there. And then the lightest color I'm gonna put right on the end of my nose, which will hit it. I mean, the lighting in here is so terrible, it probably none of it works anyway. But anyway,
mhm.
at some point, if I were out in natural light and cruising around, then at some point you probably would see those highlights. So that's this glow kit here. It's an amazing kit. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to switch my clothes real quick and get a wig on. But first, I need to put on some lipstick because lipstick is my jam. I'm going to put on this really dark. I haven't worn this dark red for a while.
Do I like women too? I like Alyssa, but that's all. Do I date Alyssa? That's in the beginning we did kind of have a little dating period where like get to know you type of like I mean we knew each other, but we were privately in our own home. We didn't go out. We didn't, you know, Alyssa didn't get to experience like how to act when, we go out and go to dinner or something like that until, the last, what, 15 years maybe. And that was very little, very, very little. So we kind of did feel like we were dating because I was like, come on, babe, let's go do this. It's okay. And then, so yeah.
There, there absolutely, there absolutely was a courtship because it was brand new for us, right? We
Hmm.
we didn't knew this wasn't natural for us. I didn't know, hey, where you are right now with this, are you comfortable with it? And
Hmm.
everything. It really is courting. It's doing things an inch at a time, and waiting to see a response from that. So yeah, there still is a dating period. There's still experiences that you don't want to rush. You don't want to ruin that. You want everything to be organic and natural and fulfilling. And it takes a
Absolutely.
minute. You have to constantly evaluate where the other person is as to whether or not you need to go another inch or you need to go back another inch. And so it does require an awareness in our relationship that maybe a lot of people don't have. And I think it's been good for us overall. Okay, listen, I'm going to just put on a different shirt here and then a wig,
Mhm.
and we'll do a little jewelry and
There
then
are a
be
lot of
done.
questions, so
All right,
I'll
rapid
try
fire.
to answer the ones that I know. If not, then we'll get Alyssa. Oh, your chair's good. Okay. Um, hmm, no. I would love to meet you too. I'm happy to be a part of this amazing group. Thank you, Steph. Final question. Do you have to be dressed as a certain one in order to be the one she needs? You know what? We've kind of established, um, it's just normal for us. It's just like, okay, Kevin's here and Alyssa's going to be here. And I've never really been, in the beginning, I was worried about not having Kevin enough. But now that we've gone this far, I feel like, no, I get enough of each that I haven't really had to say no. I need her or I need him. It's just I need you, honey. And them as a person is usually my safe place. So it's been easy. Oh, we have someone. I don't know. Let's see. Thank you, Haven Hope. So, am I bi? No, but it looks that way sometimes. But I mean, I guess if I'm with Alyssa, then kind of looks as though, and I've been called lesbian, I've been called gay, I've been called bi, I've been called, all the things, and it is what it is, and it doesn't bother me because I'm not offended, mostly because I wouldn't. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain to. I don't mind. Never mind. That's all. We're good.
Yeah, we don't spend a lot of time talking about, um, do you consider yourself gay or do you consider yourself bi or do you we just don't. We're very comfortable at this point, being intimate in a lot of different ways, and some of those ways would be uncomfortable for some people because they're just that's not important to them, or they're not comfortable, with certain tenders or whatever. So
Who's Dre? My username is Dre. My name is Andrea, but growing up, my brothers called me Dre, and it just kind of stuck. So sometimes people call me Dre, and some people call me worse things. But
I use these lashes, really, I use these lashes at least
uh,
5 or 6 times. And it just really depends on what kind of shape, I can leave them in. So I'm picking off a little bit of the excess glue so it's not so thick and so beady around the edges. And then it will glue on there a little more natural. It won't be such a heavy bead. And it will take less
mm,
glue to secure it as well. And it's not so dirty. It doesn't have this dirty buildup.
does it get to you when you raid my closet? No. It's usually the other way around because when she lived in Vegas, I'd forget my clothes and just be like, okay, cool. I'll just wear something of Alyssa's. And same with my makeup. There was one time that I got halfway to Vegas and went, oh, I forgot my makeup. And I called Kevin and Kevin's like, hey babe, Alyssa's got you. Alyssa's got you. Don't turn around. So we share. We share a lot. I wish I could share her shoes because she's got really fun shoes. But anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna put on this glue right here. It's Callus, Callar, A-L. What does that say? A-S, right?
Oh,
Callus.
Bella Italiana. That's my name. My family calls me Dre. Dree though. My brothers call me Dree. That's so awesome. I have two brothers and they would just that's so awesome. They still call me that. I love that. Uh-huh. Cool.
I'm gonna put quite a bit of
You're
glue
so
on,
cute.
and I'm gonna let it dry for a hot minute because the tackier it gets and the more dry it gets, the less I'm gonna clean it off all the way around it.
Alyssa does not. Alyssa, yes, does not like men that way. If that's what you're asking. Yes, we are married. Holy cow. Hmm.
Hmm. Did you get proposed to?
No, I just couldn't. I just all of a sudden there was like 100 messages that went past. So I'm really sorry. Um, are your nails always manicured, even as Kevin?
Typically, yes.
When you're out in public. Oh, thank you for the perfume, Esme. When you go out in public, do you present as a couple or as friends with Alyssa? It's
That's a good question.
not
That's a
me.
good question. No, I would
Oh,
just say what
I was
what what
like,
what would
what?
you guess?
I say a couple. Like they would probably think we're either married or
Yeah,
couple.
always,
Cause
always, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Um, because that first out experience when we were out in public and people needed to figure out what we were together in that moment, and she was
mhm.
nervous and scared, and I was nervous and scared, and it was, come on, we got this, and we walked out the door holding hands, and we stayed holding hands, and it was exciting, and it was fun, and it was embarrassing, and we just had to ignore a lot of stuff, but we came back holding hands too, and so we've never had those experiences leaving the house where we're still not the other person's person. And, sometimes it gets scary and sometimes it gets a little rude. But it doesn't matter. We rarely are not a couple in public.
But I remember Alyssa saying, okay, babe, I'm still going to open your door. I'm still going to do this. And I'm like, wait, I want to do that for you. I want you to see how it feels. It feels good to have someone take care of you. I wanted to. So Alyssa does get my door. So she's got me.
Always. All right. I'm gonna put a little bit of this. So this lip stuff that I put on is an 18-hour wear. It's a cover girl, but it gets really tacky and
Oh,
dry.
thank you,
So it's a
Max.
two-step process. This is just a gloss I'm putting over it.
Max stopped watching Netflix to watch you. That's
Oh,
the cutest thing
yeah,
I've ever
yeah,
heard.
that's so fun. Yeah, you can
Oh,
always go back and watch that crazy. This crazy's like in the moment crazy. And that in the moment crazy, you miss it, you miss it.
questions are. I don't
So what I'm
see.
gonna do now, so you saw me put that glue on. This is another glue. This is a felt tip glue that you can get very, very precision application on there. So I'm gonna put this right on my eyelid, right where I'm gonna attach the lash. And that glue and this glue is a little bit different. They're both gonna be tacky, but it's gonna be like lash weld once I put it on there. When I've been doing this system, which I just made up because I was so sick of lashes halfway coming off halfway through the night. And so I decided to try this system, and I've never in the middle of the night had anything go
It
wrong.
works.
Yeah, or come off
works.
or anything. So, but you do have to have it kind of lined up because when you do this, you're there. Congratulations, you just did it. So I'm gonna do this. I want this to dry just a little bit more. Babe, sweet, I'm gonna just put on some jewelry. Wow.
What do we do in Vegas, babe? Why you put your jewelry on? Because you know all the names of the places. I'm not good with that. Remembering that kind of stuff, but
we do a lot of things in Vegas. We like to see shows.
a lot of fun shows.
Seen a lot of fun shows and just
a lot of them.
Relax. We just have a lot of friends in Vegas, so we had a place there for about, I don't know, 6 years or something, and so we just have a lot of friends there, and and everything is possible there. Even when I was there and Andrea wasn't there, I could come home from work, I could get dressed, and I can go shopping, and I would go to Costco, and I would go to Walmart, and I would just do what I had to do, and it was neither here nor there, and that's not that it would be dangerous or bad in this community, but it wouldn't have been the same for sure.
Daniel, we were in Summerlin as well when we were living there. Welcome.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Babe, there's some questions.
Okay, go ahead. All right. Yes, so moderators, please, please, please don't mute people unless they're just being vulgar and disrespectful. If they're saying things that you wouldn't want your even 5 or 6 year old hearing, then don't let them continue saying that. But it's okay that people disagree, and it's okay that they are not for it. That's all right, as long as they're not disrespectful. So I want the muting and the kicking off the island, please, to a minimum, because it's the people that don't understand. They're the ones that need to be here the most. And if I can't chase them off and then be upset that they never had an opportunity to understand. So I do, as much as possible, want to leave the people here that simply haven't got a chance to understand it yet, and give them that opportunity to come live with me if they want, or just ask questions here. But I just can't. I need to understand to the rest of the world what is so dangerous about normalizing my ability to dress to my strengths and live my life. Like if everyone said, yeah, you should be able to, go ahead. Like, what's the danger to society if we normalize transgender? And I think if we can have some of these difficult conversations, I think that it's going to make a lot of people's lives a lot easier, mine included.
Got all your jewelry, babe?
I've got some jewelry, yes. Okay, so I've got to get this glue on. Now that's been sitting there for a long time, right? Those lashes with that glue, and I put a good amount on, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. I am worried about how dim this light is. I think I need that other light.
You need a bright light on, or this one?
No, this will be okay. But up close, my eyes are gorgeous.
Yeah, I love it. Let's see.
So I just take this felt tip, and I just hold in the lash down like this, so I can get a straight shot right over the lash line. So that glue is on there, and it is wet. It just came through a felt tip, so it is wet. And I want it to be tacky. I don't want to apply the other when it's wet. It'll just peel right off. So I take this little fan right here. I think I got this fan on Amazon for, I don't even know. But if you go to my link tree, I may have actually put a link on it, so you can probably get it. But they're very, very inexpensive. But it just sped the process up, and may have been the difference of whether or not I've got to stop halfway through the night and redo my lashes. So, this is actually has still a little bit blue. So I would
ever Allyssa without makeup? Like, do that?
Well, if Allyssa is without, am I ever wearing girl clothes without being in full makeup? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. All the time.
Yes. Alrighty.
So now I would rather have that too dry than too wet for sure. So now I'm going to take this same little deal, hold the lashes just back down. Because remember, I get one poke at this. It's really gluey, so you've got to really position it kind of good and go in strong and confident, like you're flipping an egg, right? You're afraid to flip that egg, that good good job on your broken yoke. So you just got to go in for it. So start with the measure from the inside. This is the most important distance right here. It's okay if it hangs off the back, but if it's way over here or now it's too far, it's poking you. So you're going to want to measure from the inside of the eye and then kind of just roll it out this way. That's how you're going to.
You get a lot of messages. Oh, thank you, Sarah. You see a lot on your phone that I don't. So, oh, thank you. Thank you for the roses.
Maybe it's TikTok Prime. I pay for TikTok Prime. It's kind of like Amazon Prime. It gives me like all these advantages like free shipping and I get extra messages that you don't get. Oh, look, I had some glue on there and it glued those two together. Oh, the lash didn't work out bad at all. However, there was some glue on the bottom that got into this lash line. So it took some of these lashes off.
I love to watch her. She's so
Mm.
good.
Wow. So
That tool's awesome.
yeah, this tool is good because also you can put it underneath. You can see I can push it kind of back up in there, right into that line right there and just kind of hold it and then just roll it off. You can pull it straight up. Now I did get too much glue on there.
Tricks.
I actually probably should have let that dry just a little bit more, but it's on there. It's on there pretty good. All right, yeah, let's get one more on. Lashes are the real deal for me. So lashes are important. Nails are important. Hair is very important.
Why aren't you Allyssa all the time?
It wouldn't be the right thing right now. It wouldn't be the right thing. I was Allyssa none of the time. 1% of the time, 6 months ago, and so I'm Melissa. Maybe not quite half of the time now. That's a pretty big step. For to go from zero to a little bit in 50 years and then go all the way to Mach 10. It's just I gotta understand the vehicle before I start using all the switches and pushing all the buttons, or it's going to be an absolute train wreck.
I don't know, babe. You're doing really good.
Okay.
I have that moment of stress with my eggs every morning. So true. There are a lot of questions. Sorry, I'm trying to see.
Okay, here we are. We're to that moment of truth. So this is gonna be getting close to completing my makeup, or starting over and give me another 10 minutes. I just got glue on this tweezer, so I needed to take that off. Otherwise, I'll pull this thing right off once I get it placed perfectly, and then you can hear the swearing problem that I have. I'm just joking.
We are married. I wish you could do my makeup like that.
Oh, that would be fun.
We do have children, and they are very good with us. We have 3 kids. Is that a spatula? It kind of is for, isn't it used to put foundation on?
Ooh, this one's very delicious. That one went on really, really good. Yeah, I don't know. It's silicone. Yeah, they're like little spatulas. Yes, I've seen them even this shape. But this is, you almost have to know somebody to get one of these. But if you don't know somebody, then they're at Dollar Tree. They're $1.25 now, and it's just a little silicone thing. Now Ulta makes them too. See, so Ulta makes them that they're a little more sexy, right? Look at the style of that, and so it's actually a little, and it can help do some shaping. But what I don't like, the reason I use this crappy one instead of this $12 one, is because of just how flimsy it is. It's very, very flimsy, and if I want to try to put a little pressure to pull my lashes down or pull my lid down a little bit tighter so I can get a little tighter line, this sometimes it's just a little flimsy. So if this were slightly stiffer silicone, home run right there.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Are you sorry if you've answered this? Hold on. Right. We're not going to go there. I'm sorry. Do you work as Allyssa?
All right. I do now, yes. I do now, yes, but I have not worked in corporate America as Allyssa. No. Very few people in that world knows there are some. But I got to get a wig on right now. Then we can get into some other more important, hotter stuff. So let's get a wig on.
She has some synthetic and some human hair. Yeah.
Okay.
Aww. Medical cells, yes. I'm gonna sit over here so I can, let's see. 19 messages. Sorry, guys. What do we do for fun? Well,
Last night.
Let me tell you, in our past, we used to ride road bikes together, pedal bikes, motorcycles, boating. You know, we did all the things. Right now, we just are. I feel like it's grandbaby and teenagers. That's like our life. That's our fun thing to do right now. So, but yes, we like to go on walks and hikes now that I'm getting older. the less difficult hikes are better for me. I don't. This top is so old. I don't even know, Paulette. I'm sorry. Alyssa has used magnetic lashes before, but she wasn't as happy and she didn't like them as much. The best part's the wig. I can move out of the way and do the reveal.
Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so the wig is really one of my favorite parts. Let me move this over here.
I don't help Alyssa with her shades of makeup because I don't do any eyeshadow ever. I don't know
Thank
how, and I haven't practiced. And when I had time to practice, I would let my girls practice on me so I could close my eyes while they would poke an eye out. No.
Okay, so these products, I didn't go through them, but the bottom line is you can go right to our Amazon storefront right from our link tree if you want to know what they are. If you're gonna buy them, please buy them that way. That would help me out. And but you can go there to see what they are anyway and write them down. Go get your right colors and whatnot. So
I don't wear wigs.
no, that she's just naturally gorgeous. Yeah, but it is naturally human gorgeous that she wears.
Oh, hi, Michelle.
But definitely, yeah. So go find the information right there.
Yay.
So let me. I want to get into a couple of things because I want to talk about some important topics like sports, like transgender um, dangers and things that are holding back, things that are holding people back from even feeling safe enough to ask me questions and talk about things and understand, what to do. So I want to help you understand, but I also need to understand your perspective a little bit as well. And so one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, "Hey, when did you know you're transgender?" Or "How long have you been transgender?" And I get this question a lot, and I understand why. I really do. You want to know if it's some sudden onset um, deal, and because you need to find the scrutiny in it. You need to find where it's broken. I completely get that, but I want to help you understand my timeline so you can help me understand. Well, these are the points of the timeline that are important to us. These are the points that we need to understand better. So here's what I'm going to do. I have the ability with my OBS system to put it on the screen on the streams that are going out on YouTube, and some of those. And then my TikTok, I'm just gonna actually have to flip it just for a few minutes so you can be looking at the screen that they're looking at to see this timeline and those type of things. Trey, do you know now that we're live, do I have the option of just flipping the camera to the other side? Like, you know what I'm saying? Can I just flip the camera now that we're live streaming? I don't know, but let me figure this out. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to.
Can Can you answer a question?
Yes, yeah, I would love to. Yes, I would love to.
Christine said, do you have any suggestions when I accidentally say he? I love everyone, but I have done this a few times.
Yeah, yeah,
I
me
do it
too.
all the
I've done it several times as well. Yeah, just say, I'm sorry. If that was offensive, I'm sorry. How would you like to be referred to? Yeah, but you don't have to just own it. You don't know if it was offensive or not. If that was offensive, then I apologize. I'm surely not here to offend you. Um, and while we're on that being offensive topic, guys, let me just give this little piece of advice. People are so great, and I've got the greatest family, and I've got the greatest friends, and most of their responses were just much more than I could have hoped for. But I want to give you one of the more common responses that was probably very generous, but also kind of hurtful too. And it's this, and I know that it's a very common response because of how many times I've heard it. They say, "Wow, you know what? That's, awesome. That's fine. I mean, the way that I feel is as long as you're not hurt anybody, then I don't really care what you do." And I got that type of a response over and over and over. And I get what you're saying. What you're saying is, hey, look, I'm comfortable with you being you. I'm secure enough with me for you to be who you need to be. And so you're good. We're like that. We're good. I get that that's what you're saying, but I'm taking it literally. And when you say, hey, look, just as long as you don't hurt anybody, then I don't really care. I'm going, wait a minute, hurt somebody. The first thing that I just became vulnerable and showed you exactly who I am. And the first thing that you thought of was hurting somebody. Like I've never once thought of hurting somebody like this. This is not deviant. This is different. It's not deviant. I wouldn't hurt anybody. But if I don't hurt anybody, then you don't care. Well, gosh, I want you to care. That's why I've been worried for month after month to tell you because I wanted you to know because you're important to me and I want to have conversations that are important to me too. And I want you to know me because you're that important to me. And then to hear that as long as you don't hurt anybody, that I don't care, that's kind of the exact opposite of what we're going for on a feeling level. And I'm not trying to be petty because I've already had those experiences. I'm trying to keep you from wording it that exact same way to somebody else because my guess is somebody else out there is depending on where they are in their life could feel those same things, but nobody wants to be told, hey, look, as long as you don't hurt anybody, then I really don't care. So for whatever it's worth, at some point, somebody is going to come to you and they're going to trust you because you showed them that you're a great friend and that you care and you're not an abuser. And in that moment, you get to respond differently, which I don't know what that's going to sound like for your relationship. It may be like, my gosh, how brave are you? How honored am I that you felt safe with me and care about me enough to trust me with these valuable things. Like I don't know how this is going to go because I don't understand it. I really don't, but I know that I don't need to understand it to support you and to do whatever is healthy for you. So thank you for telling me. And just let them know up front that you don't know anything about it and you may agree or you may not or spiritually this, but just tell them but it's okay because I understand you. So for whatever that's worth. That's worth. I'm gonna.
Thank
Somebody's
you
asking if we
and
make YouTube
Pam.
videos. I am. We do record these lives and they get uploaded to YouTube. But I am gonna start making regular YouTube videos to be posted. Every day or 2 days that are just little aha moments that I've had along the way that may help somebody at some point.
Thank you for the balloons.
Okay, let me see. Let's try to get to.
I'll have to do a hair tutorial on my own page.
Yeah, that's true. So, guys, before I'm just going to do a really quick timeline because I want to answer a few questions that get asked a lot. And they're questions like, how long have you been trans? When did you know you were trans? What makes you trans? All of these things. So I want to get to that and I'll be able to answer a lot of those questions in just a couple of minutes. And then from that, maybe we can have some different, conversations about some different questions if I was able to satisfy those for you. So I'm gonna switch
Thank you,
screens. And
JJ.
before I go,
Oh,
You also can join up for our Discord. So if you sign up for our Discord, then you can get in there and have other really neat conversations with people that are probably very similar to you. Some trans, some not trans, some there to learn. Um, but but come and join the Discord, and you can also support us on Patreon if you're inclined to support us that way. So I'm going to switch this over. So I'm going to put a PowerPoint on
thank
the
you for
screen,
your
and then I'm going to take
comment.
my phone. You know what, sweetie? I actually need to move this a little bit,
Okay.
only because no, you don't have to move.
Well,
I'm
I'm
just going
gonna
to put the
stretch
phone
my
here
my
so
leg.
they could see it.
I didn't work out, but I feel like I worked out because I cleaned the house. So I feel like I need to stretch my muscles.
All right, let's see. Let's see what we can do here. When I push this, guys, I haven't done this before. I got OBS going, I got TikTok going, I got all these things going at one time, and so I don't completely know.
Oh, thank you guys. You are
Let's see. I think
both a breath of fresh air. Thank you. Thank you for
okay. This is
all the
awesome. So I
comments.
actually got that up there. So
Yay!
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna turn it around. Oh, hang on. Okay, let me see. Do you think I can turn this around? Do you think that I can get like on the other like flip something
Yeah, it will
flip
be
camera?
backwards.
Okay,
though, I
look, there it
think.
is. No, look. Like for real, I think it's gonna work. All right,
Do we go
here we
out
go.
after the live sometimes? Yes,
Yes.
we do.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna call. I'm gonna do this a little bit more like this actually. I'm gonna call this. Maybe this is too high. The trans journey timeline. Okay, so let me just take you through quickly what that looked like and when it happened. So you asked me the question, hey, how long have you been trans? When did it happen? So let's go through a little bit of this. So I became aware at my earliest memory that those things were important to me, very, very important to me. So I don't have any memories where the feeling of being beautiful and feminine was not important to me. Those memories don't exist. So I have been aware since I don't know 5 to 7 years old. In high school, I was 17, and so between 5 to 17, there was just thinking about it. There was just considering it. There was lip gloss here and there. There was no opportunities to do anything or no reason to do anything other than just try to understand it. From 17, as soon as I got out of high school, then I wanted a mission for my church at the time, and so from 19 to 21, then I went on a mission. So when I came back at 21, that's the first time in my life that I had the independence and ability to go and dress how I wanted to dress. So this is when I started dressing um, privately. Then I was married at 23. Oh, you know what? I think this is the sound on or anything? Am I supposed to be doing something different, babe?
No, I just didn't know if you.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Doesn't matter.
So at 23, we got married. We were dressing. 37, Henry gave me a name. So then we got hormones. I got on hormones at the age of 43. Surgery at 45. Came out publicly at 47. And now at 50 years old, I'm living 50-50. Okay? Now I'm going to speed that up just a little bit. Okay, so look at 5 to 7. I'm not 5 there, but I'm just doing my thing. High school, I'm doing my thing. We're riding motorcycles. We're just being athletic. We're playing sports, right? You go on a mission. You're very distracted because you're distracted in service. You're distracted in focus, right? So I'm still very active, very physical, very boyish. I'm never flamboyant or girlish at all. I never felt like that. I never felt like a girly boy, right? Then we get married at 23, right? I've barely been dressing privately just for a very short period of time. I meet Andrea, look at this gorgeous girl, and we go from there. Well, we start going dressing together. In fact, this is the first picture that we took with me dressed. This was just a couple of months after we got married, literally a couple of months after we got married. This was in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. and they're telling her to look angry, and they didn't have to tell me to look glad. I mean, they said look happy like a showgirl. Like, you don't got to tell me, you know. So that was our very first picture. That was a couple of months after we got married. So I guess about 26 years ago. Then Andrea gives me a name at 37. At 37 years old is when she said, "Hey, I have a name for you." At 43, we go on hormones. Then surgery at 45. So the surgery at 45 is I had a liposuction and then what they call a fat transfer, which is they try to take the fat out and they put it on my hips and my butt, and it worked for a minute. And I really that was a special minute that it was good for. Then at 47, I came out, and then here I am at 50, living 50-50. So now here's the timeline right in front of you, right? So let me ask you the questions so that I know what you're asking. Okay, so when did I come out? Well, the awareness was from 5 years old, 7 years old. That's when I became aware. I started dressing regularly at 21. I got a name. That person got a name at 37. Hormones, I changed chemically at 43. Physically, by 45, 47. Now here I am at 50 years old. So looking at that right there, when you ask me, hey, how long have you been trans? I'm not sure 100% how to respond to that because I've never felt differently. The only difference between my thinking from age 7 to age 47, the only thing different was my availability, the opportunity. That was what was different. The thinking never changed. So would you, in answering this, I want to answer it in an honest way for you. What specifically are you asking me when you say, how long have you been trans? How did you know? Um, those kind of things. Here's the graph, and this is exactly what we were doing. And you saw pictures of what we looked like when we were doing it. I mean, ask the tough questions because I want you to understand. So anyway, that's that. That's all I got to say about that. I'm like Forrest Gump. So now I got to turn this camera back around.
Mhm.
Okay. So let me put this back up here for a minute. I'll get this
You are
readjusted.
so cute.
I'm gonna pull this down here. Hey, sorry. Hey, thanks for dealing with that. Okay, now I got to switch
No,
this other
that
screen
was
back.
good. That was some people. I'm a visual learner too. You have some followers that are visual learners as
Really?
well. Hormones helped in what way?
Mentally. Oh my gosh, 100% mentally,
What?
emotionally. Um, it's a chemical thing, probably the same way that someone feels that has, certain medications. I don't know, high blood pressure, that kind of stuff. Okay, so let me go back here. I think I'm good to go, right? Is my mic on? Is there? I don't know. If something is not working, then somebody let me know. But could they even see it? Did it even
Yeah,
work?
it
All I
was
did is
good.
turn it. They
No,
could
it
see
was
it.
really good.
Okay. So from that, so now here's my question. I really need you to help me with. When somebody says, based on what I just showed you, when somebody asks me, "Hey, how long have you been trans?" What is the answer? What do you consider that moment? Is it when I started dressing? Is it when I was hormones? Or when I was committed to come out? Like in your mind, what was that moment that you're thinking validated that or clarified that for me?
And we have
No, nobody. Please answer
hold on.
anybody. I just
Somebody
want to know how to answer you so you feel the congruence and the honesty in it. When you started dressing, okay. So Janet said when you started dressing, so that would have been at 21. Thank you for answering that. When you come out, okay, so that would be all the way out in at 47. Wow, that's a big gap. 46, 26 years. What was I like in between that, So when people say, what are you? I guess back here at 21, I was just a cross dresser, right? Because that's the only word I had, right? Then at some point you become very, I don't know, gender expansive, as you let yourself be that and then all of a sudden you get up here and you come out and see. So this is why the pronouns are not important to me because they're changing as the aha moments change. And this is why I wouldn't get caught up on pronouns, and this person's a non-binary, and that's it. This person is on the spectrum of somewhere that you're not. That's all that you need to know. And they're dealing with what they're going through just like you are. So there's no reason not to believe them when they say this is where I'm at. There's just no reason not to believe them.
Mm. Can you explain to our viewer Max how to join the Discord? She has a trans person living with her, and their family is not accepting, and
Oh,
she's opened her home.
wow. Yeah, so you can just get to the Discord right from our link tree. So if you download Discord and then go to the discord.trends.alyssa, I think is what it is, then it will just, take you right to us. So it'd be great. Please, everyone, please come join the Discord. It's so much fun. It's not all you. It's not all you. I don't even know what that means. Hey, so what can I get any more answers as far as based on what you just saw in the history?
Someone said 5 to 7.
5 to 7. Okay,
Mhm.
so from the beginning, so you're saying, hey, because the thinking didn't change, the person didn't change, I guess.
Oh, that's a good comment. I think when you acknowledge the other side of you and weren't hiding.
Okay. The acceptance. You
Mhm.
know what's interesting with that? Um, in the last 7 months since we've come out here and I've really been able to embrace it, just embrace it. It's done amazing things. It's done amazing things for Kevin. I am such a more confident Kevin. Um, Now the more that I embrace Allyssa, and that has been very very surprising. And I realize now because Allyssa always drove me. Everything was a distraction in my life, is why it felt like Allyssa was driving me. I never doubted Allyssa, but I always doubted Kevin. Right? It wasn't Kevin saying go do this, go do this. It was, man, look at those colors and the textures and the life and the beauty and the love and the tenderness and all of that. And Kevin had a job to do over here that was blunt force trauma, and I don't even know what I was talking about.
Well, did you ever feel like you had body dysmorphia?
No, not really. I just knew that when I put in some shapers, boy, I felt a lot better. But it's been super special since I don't have to use those, shapers anymore. After 7 years of being on hormones, um, you just start to take, a little bit different shape.
That
So
looks so good.
hey, so guys, if you clicked on I know that I keep saying Linktree. I keep thinking that we're all just watching from TikTok, and that's not the case at all. Now, you may be watching from Rumble, you may be watching from YouTube or Instagram. So I apologize, but if you come to the TikTok account and click on the Linktree, when I mention Linktree, that is on our homepage of TikTok, right underneath our bio. And if you click on that Linktree, then that will give you access to all of the other, stuff, the stores and the Discord and all of those other fun things. And there's also a link to the suicide hotline and some different resources there as well. So when I say Linktree, I'm referring to TikTok on my homepage. And if you're not following us there, then please come over and do that.
Someone said, I think when you were born, or rather, Alyssa born.
Okay.
Love your
Oh, that's great.
explanation.
Thank you.
Is Kevin masculine or flamboyant?
Mm.
Kevin is very masculine. If she's going back and forth very often, they both have they both have some of each other's quality. I mean, qualities. You know. So it just kind of depends.
But I've never felt like there were moments as I was starting to get more comfortable with Alyssa and I was starting to lose weight and my body was able to move differently and hang differently and the hormones were starting to just do different things that they weren't doing before. There were moments when I started to feel very comfortable doing feminine things. And as I started to practicing, with that, I did find myself at work in my suit, starting to wait a minute, look how tight I can now fold my legs. Well, look, my wrists really they're getting quite skinny. And so there was a period where I found myself trying to bleed over into the other. And so I just had to reel that back because when I'm Kevin, I want to be a good Kevin and I want to be a good husband. I want people to be you know, uh, I don't want them to think that my family's vulnerable because I'm not capable of doing extreme things. But when I'm Allyssa, then I want to set that mantle down, and I don't want to have to worry about
Ooh.
doing extreme things. I want to be more concerned with doing amazing, beautiful things.
Oh, thank you, Heather. Oh, this is a good one. Do Kevin and Alyssa have different signature scents? Perf- Perfume makes me feel differently.
Mm.
I think you do. I think
Um,
you do.
yeah, I mean, we both have scents that we really like. Um,
Like Kevin has a scent and Alyssa has a different, for sure. But I have smelt Alyssa on Kevin,
what does that
and
What does that mean? What does that
just
mean?
because you've been in their room or you've been in,
Mm,
it's just, you've had a wig on, you've had, even your makeup smells, your hair smells different, your
right.
wig smell different depending on what shampoo. I can It's just like, if I don't know, there is a different scent for
There is a
sure.
different, absolutely. When you have intimate with your wife, are you Kevin or Alyssa? Well, we don't. It's a good question. It's a fair question, and let me tell you why it's a valuable question. It's a valuable question because there are so many people that are watching this who are having to deal with their spouses coming out to them as trans, or I need to do this, or I think about hormones, or how do I come out, and what does that mean for us sexually? So it is so valid, and it's so hard to find a place to get that information, and I don't mind talking about it, but this is not the right place because there's also so many young children on here watching the responses and figuring out, if they're going to go into the shadows or into the light. And so, I would encourage you to join the Discord, and we can have some different conversations where this is not appropriate on this public platform for all conversations. There's also, if you want to participate on the Patreon level, we have sessions that are called, Ask Me Anything, and it's a much more intimate conversation, and we can exchange information that would be healthy for some people and not be healthy for everybody. So, but the bottom line is we're very intimate, and how we go about that, it has everything to do with our creativity, and that's it.
Are you a medium? Oh, I
You know
love the
what?
way.
I finally am a medium in some sizes, but once I got out of the much the 2X and the 1X, then that
Mhm.
felt great to know that I could walk into a store and buy like a real girl size, and that did like a lot for my confidence. I feel like,
I think they're, yeah. I
yeah,
love the way you speak. You have a beautiful vibe about you.
oh,
Oh,
thank you.
were you aware before marriage? To an extent. I mean, the same way Alyssa knew how to explain what she was going through. She told me she was attracted to feminine things. She told me she wanted to try different things, and I did things for her or encouraged her in certain ways that I knew how, because I had no idea how to do it. So we just learned as we went. So yes, I was aware before marriage. Thank you.
You can also access um, all of our Linktree stuff if just by going to transalyssa.com. Just go transalyssa.com, and that's uh, two L's and two S's, transalyssa.com, and you can also access all of our Linktree stuff and whatnot. Not necessarily Linktree, but yeah, I think you can get right to a Linktree from that, so you don't have to remember TikTok or go sign up for TikTok or anything else. Just go to transalyssa.com, and you can access a lot of that stuff as well. Um, there was a question that I saw that I was going to ask, and I don't remember.
Does Alyssa have different personality than Kevin? I think if you saw her in the begin or him in the beginning to her now, you would see that they're the same person, but they're gentler, softer, happier, brighter eyes, all the things. So yes.
You know what I think it is? I think it's just I'm just more grateful. I'm more grateful when I'm like this. I feel like if the sound was turned off and you couldn't hear any words whatsoever, and all you got to see was me talking, and you got to see me talking like this, and then
Thank
you got to see
you.
me talking as with no words. I just feel like you would understand me better if you got to see Alyssa. I just feel like you would know more of what I'm capable of, and more of what's important to me. I just don't think that if you saw Kevin, it reflects what's important to me at all. That's all.
When they said that, are you a medium? They meant like psychic.
Uh,
You have a little bit of
no,
lipstick on.
I
There you
do.
go.
I'm
I
more
would get it,
psycho
but
than psychic. We're very
that's not
we do
true.
consider ourselves spiritual. You know, spirituality is
Mhm.
important to us. Religion's not as important to us, but we do the spirituality is about being in harmony with not only yourself but the universe, you know, understanding your connection to the universe, the things in the universe and the people in the universe, and having a deeper understanding of your role in every moment with every person that you come across, and being accountable for that moment, and being to live in that moment. And the more you're in that moment, the more gratitude you
Thank you,
feel,
Colby.
and then you can respond differently, and compassion looks different. And I just feel like when I'm Allyssa, I'm more in that moment. I'm in this moment of gratitude and
Oh,
connection with what's around me instead of what I have to get through as Kevin. And I think that gives me a different personality. I think it's a different perspective altogether.
it's always knocking something over. I know we need the short straws. We need to get that on our.
I'm pretty sure all my straws are the short straws, baby.
Do you pay for psychic readings?
Do I pay for psychic readings? I've never paid for a psychic reading. No.
Thank you, Felicia. Felicia said, I hope somebody see your page. Your approach and how you explain
Oh,
things
and
are perfectly
oh
said.
my gosh, that was nice. That was Felicia.
Yeah.
Let's say, hey, please, um, just be respectful.
I think I'd be scared.
Hi, is this
You know I'm
is,
gonna mess with you.
Hey, what's going on, Heather?
Nothing much. You know I have to mess with you. You're always knocking something over.
Always. You got some incredible new wigs.
Oh, well, you seen the ones that I got for Robin?
Yeah, so fun, so fun.
Yeah, I got her 3 human hairs and 1 synthetic.
Oh,
That's wonderful. That's really good. Wow.
Exciting.
Is there anything that you'd love to add to this to these beautiful people? Remember, we're on a couple new platforms. So now we're on Trovo, so we're streaming on Trovo as well as Rumble, as well as Instagram and YouTube. So there are a few more people in there. Do you have anything that you'd like to share for this amazing of a group?
Well, I have been answering everyone's questions.
Yes.
I'm trying
You
to,
have?
but
Oh,
Thank
thank
if
you.
you'll come to the, yeah, I have.
Thank
If
you,
you'll come to
Heather.
the Discord, I will answer you personally, and it'll be a lot easier than doing it in this chat form.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true, Heather.
Hop over to Discord, y'all.
There you go, guys. Please, you see Heather's in there, and she understands so much. Her partner, her wife is transgender, and she's just been an absolute amazing ally, and she just understands so much about this world, and so she has a lot to offer. And Joanne will also be in Discord, and just so many incredible people. So go in there and let these guys just be a light for you. Thank you for being here, Heather. Thank you for joining us.
Piper said
Well, you had no one in here coming in here all night. You've got 30 minutes left in your show.
Oh,
I know we're
thank
going to go straight into
you.
some questions. Hey, what questions do you feel like we should answer? What are the important ones?
Well, mainly the important ones you've already answered, and so have I. Me, you, Andrea.
It's true.
All right.
Thank you for helping, for sure. And
Yes.
My
Yeah.
night goes very smooth.
Heather, thank you. Yeah, thank you for helping keep the pool clean. We love people to be here. We hate kicking people off the island, but we sure encourage them to just be here and be respectful. So thank you.
Yeah, and I've also ended a fight here in the chat too. There's 2 girls fighting in here.
Wow, that's fun. Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah, I gave them both a 5-minute warning, and I told them to chill out and calm back down. Calm back.
All right. Well,
And chill and play nice.
well, make sure everyone has the ability to to express themselves without being too aggressively gross.
Oh,
Yeah.
They were getting aggressive, so I just sent them for 5 minutes.
All right.
Gotta go to timeout sometimes.
That's
girls.
awesome. Well, Heather, thank you for being such a good ally and such a good partner with us.
Yeah.
We appreciate you so much.
Thank
I'll
you.
be back here on the chat, y'all.
All right.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Heather, for
Heather.
your help.
You're
Mm,
welcome.
Cute.
so cute.
Aw,
Those wigs, I saw the wigs on Discord, so she
they're so
posted pictures of them.
pretty.
Yeah, they're like really pretty. These human hair wigs, you got to understand, hair's a big part of the deal. And look, I want to kind of
Oh,
straighten
there's
this one
some.
just a little bit. Let me change this. Let me do a little different look for 1 second.
That's a good question up there.
But the wigs are important, and these
Thank you for
wigs
the
and
gifts.
how much it takes to spend on a wig and all that. These are good stuff. So she bought her spouse 3 human hair wigs, which these wigs here, they're not probably the nicest in the world, but they were like $850 wigs. And now I did get a little discount off of that, but that's what these were selling for when I got these. So they're really nice wigs and they're expensive, and so you have to really take care of them. Are you guys going to get? Oh, sweetie.
Your Easter dress this year. Are you going to get your Easter dress this year? Or this coming
This coming
next
year,
year?
I don't know. We've never
We
discussed
need to
that.
plan it.
We've never discussed it. I
We've
see that.
said it, but we haven't like executed.
Yeah, she yes, but see that that's been such a special thing for Andrea and my daughters. That's just been their thing, their tradition, and I'm not here to go in and change memories and change traditions and make things, if that's their thing, that's their thing, and I don't want to be the contaminant that has to be in
Not what
every
you-
single thing. And
But I
no, see this,
understand your
and
feeling.
yeah, so
for
they're saying
sure.
no, that's not a be, but I want to make sure I don't become that where I have to be involved in every single thing and everyone gets to still have their own traditions and time and space, away from me as well.
We do it
So,
more in private. Like if it's like a holiday or something, I would give Alyssa something in private. Or I'd make sure, hey Kevin, by the way, under the Christmas tree, there's a few things for Kevin, but there's a lot under our tree in our room for Alyssa. So we would do things more private until the kids found out. Now the kids give Alyssa and Kevin something under the tree. So it, yeah.
hey Jesse, so you said it's a sad world. We need to teach boys how to become men. Well, if you have 1,000 followers, Jess, come on with me live right now, and let's talk that through, and let's talk about what that education would look like, teaching your boys to become men, and let's talk about what that education would look like for you to think you could be able to talk somebody into being the other gender. This is not something that's taught, my friend. This is something that's lived, and you don't get a choice whether or not you have it, but you get a choice with how you deal with it. So you're the only difference between your thinking and my thinking is proximity to the problem. But when your child comes to you and you realize that there's not another solution, well then you have to make other things work, and you'll still be welcome back here when you're trying to figure out how to make that work. But there's no such thing as teaching somebody how to be the other gender. That doesn't mean that people can't just go, oh, I'm going to go do that and go do that. But the feelings, a trans person is going to be who they're going to be, regardless if it's comfortable for you. Do you ever think that you'll be Alyssa full time and no more Kevin? No, that's not where my mind's going. Again, I was full time Kevin 7 months ago, 8 months ago, and I'm not thinking about getting rid of Kevin. There's too much value there. I've got a lot to contribute. And I feel like if I shut Kevin down all the way, I would be shutting down some of those, blunt force trauma abilities and potential that I have. I'm not interested in that.
Well, kids.
It's good.
Oh, such
Um,
good vibes. Oh, that's a good question.
are you guys going to since you present as both? What's your favorite part of being a man and favorite part of being a woman? That is a great question. My favorite part of being a man, um, I guess the accountability of it. You just do it. You just get it done. Um, that's the purpose in it for Kevin, I guess. And Alyssa's purpose is not to go get it. That's different. It's a different purpose. I guess my favorite part of being a woman is is taking care of it. You know, Kevin's gonna go get it, and Alyssa can take care of it. And you know, I don't know. It's a different mindset because it's a different perspective. It's like I've got these goggles. I saved them from that cereal box. You know, you put them on. One's red and one's blue, and you look at the in the picture. You can see different things. And I've got these goggles that allow me to see so much more. And you know, that's I don't know. I just couldn't get rid of either one of those things because I'd be missing half of the box. But the woman part, the things that I see through the girl side are just more valuable to me. They just mean more to me. And I feel much more valuable when I look like this than when I look like Kevin. That's I guess I could say it that way. So it probably has something to do with, you know, this your self actualization or whatever else. Um, you know, there are a lot of times in my life where the only thing that made sense to me was reincarnation. And the church I grew up in didn't believe in reincarnation. I didn't know that I really believed in it or because I hadn't thought about it. But there are so many times in my life where I felt like that's the only thing that makes sense. That's the only thing. Why else would I be so familiar with all of this? Why are things so comfortable? It's like I have all of these memories of experiences that never happened. And so there are a lot of times where I thought, I don't know, there's got to be something to that. These are just too familiar to me. So I really don't know. But being a woman is more whole. It's not more easy. It's not more easy, but it's
Mhm.
more fulfilling, I guess.
It's a good way. So
But you know what? As Kevin, I don't get messed with. You know, period. I don't worry about going into the bathroom. I don't worry about going down the back alley by myself. I don't worry about walking into a store or a group with different people. I just don't worry. And as Alyssa, I worry every single time. So there is a vulnerability there that Kevin never would have understood um, until you know I got to experience it as Alyssa, and all of a sudden people groups look at you differently and all of a sudden you become a target instead of a threat, and so you do have to live more on the defensive. You have to be more aware. You have to be more cautious and wise because your margin of error is less.
Mhm.
I don't even know if that made sense. That was kind of
Couple of people. Oh, does Alyssa have a different favorite movie than Kevin?
favorite
Or
movie.
I think I
What do you
I
think?
think I know.
Okay, let's hear it.
Um, I think you can watch a movie from both perspectives, from
Hmm.
Kevin and Alyssa, and appreciate both. What's my favorite movie with Brad Pitt? What is it called?
Meet Joe
Meet Joe
Black.
Black.
Yeah.
I think you can identify with the dad um and the daughters and see both
Hmm.
sides and be able to just be engrossed with both genders in the movies.
Yeah. No, no, that's probably really good. I think that Kevin is going to go be a
Bobby.
much more, you know, A Few Good Men. We Were Soldiers, Braveheart. You know, those kind of movies. Um, but I don't know. I do enjoy lighter things than that. I don't enjoy fighting movies at all, or Marvel movies, or any of that stuff. That has no interest whatsoever. But you know, but I love one of my favorite movies of all time is called We Were Soldiers, and it's with Mel Gibson. And that is one of the best movies on leadership that I've ever seen. And I've read a lot of books and I've seen a lot of movies on leadership. And that is one of the best movies that I've seen on leadership and is so inspiring to me. And some of you, you know, probably know what I'm referring to. And Mel Gibson is this leader who's just this really great leader and who does great things and he's got
Mhm.
great discipline and great practice. But that's not the leadership that I'm talking about. The leadership is his wife. that got put in a position when all of these notices were coming home, to the widows, and how she handled that, and took control of something and owned a situation that wasn't hers to own, but still kept it all together and did the hard things. That's leadership. You can be trained, you can create the discipline to be the leader that Mel Gibson was, but this is a lady who stepped up out of instinct and necessity and courage, and did the hardest thing ever. And watching that, I just felt I was so inspired, watching that. So I think that's a great movie for a lot of reasons. But the way that his wife handled all of that, and held it all together, to me was really inspiring.
So cute.
Yes.
Miss Matthews joined us, just followed us on Twitch.
All right.
Thank you, Miss Matthews.
Thank
That's
you, Miss
fun.
Matthews on Twitch. Yes, I
haven't-
forgot about Twitch.
I
That's
like
that's right.
that.
Guys, thanks again for the Patreon supporters. I just want to hold this up right here. So
Oh.
thank you. You just so important to us.
Johnny said you should see Miss Harris Goes to Paris. It's a movie you both love.
Miss Harris Goes to Paris.
I haven't heard of that.
Yes, let's write it down. I will write that down right now.
Yay. So cute. Does Alyssa listen to different music than Kevin?
Yes. So depending on what I'm vibing with, Alyssa likes much more like Taylor Swift and Katy Perry and Avril Lavigne, and it's amazing that Pink. I just can identify with so much of that music, and it's more of the vibration probably, than the words. Sometimes the words, but there's so much of that world and those words that I don't understand. But just yes. So those girls
Heather blocked
or are who the ones that I really identify with most when I'm dressed. If I'm not dressed, then I love Nickelback, and I love Imagine Dragons, and some of that type of stuff. Bajiro Matza.
Heather, it looks on my end. It says that you have access. So I don't know why. I don't know why it's saying that.
Was there a way to see who's?
Yeah. I got Heather. I just checked, and it says that you have access.
I love Imagine Dragons, right? Thank you. They're great. They're great.
Maybe I will.
What are your views on trans and women's sports? What that's who is it? Who is it saying that? Humbles. What does it say? It's a great question. It's a great question, and one that we should have talked about a lot more. Actually, my views on sports are this: number one, I'm for participation, but I'm also against an advantage. So athletics is about physical ability. Transgender is about gender identity. They're not the same things. So I don't want trans girls participating with the cisgender girls until they work it out, because I'm trying to normalize the ability to dress myself in the morning, and we can't normalize anything that comes with an advantage. And I know that it's not going to come with an advantage all the time. Maybe it doesn't come with an advantage very much of the time, but there's still the potential of an advantage. And as long as accepting transgender means that I have to accept an advantage, no one's going to do that. That's too much of an ask. I'm not interested in somebody's ability to go play soccer. I'm more interested in everyone's ability to use the restroom in a safe place. And I just think it's too much to ask somebody to give up a restroom so that somebody else can be on the soccer field or wrestling mat or whatever else. And it's not that I don't want the trans girls to participate. I do. But I think that you should only get to compete athletically with those individuals that experience the same puberty as you. That's it. And if you were born male and you got on puberty blockers and you never experienced the male puberty that gave you some of those advantages that might have come, then God bless, and go be with your people and compete and be fair, and they'll love you and they won't doubt you and be suspicious of you. you know. But if you've already gone through that period and have gained things that could give you an advantage, I just don't think that there's a way to get people to buy off if you come with an advantage. So I'm for participation, but I'm against an advantage because I'm not trying to represent a group of people. I'm trying to represent every people, and every people should be in a safe restroom. Thank you,
Hi,
Virginia, for that
Quinn.
rose. Oh,
Thank
that's so
you.
thoughtful. Thank you. Jenna, thank you for saying that. Have I decided on a middle name? No. No, I haven't.
We wrote them all down.
Don't just say I wish I had. Jesse, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Would you say you have a? I wish it's going so fast.
Let's see.
I wish I could.
Would you say you have a split personality?
I would say everybody
Jesse.
has a split personality. I would say nobody just wakes up, you know, and acts exactly the way we feel, and that's how it goes. So I don't get to act the way I feel a lot, but I act the way that's appropriate for the situation I'm in. And if I'm at work, then I'm there to work, and if I'm not at work, then I'm there to live. And so, yes, I have many personalities based on the
Thank you,
situation
Brenda.
and what's expected of me.
Cal says, looking beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, Cal's here. Cal, hello. Thank
Hi,
you.
Jesse.
I'm so late, but you both look beautiful. Oh, Virginia, thank you. Brenda, thank you for
Brenda.
that. That's so sweet. Melissa Lynn, thank you.
Oh, that's a good question.
Tina, let's hear it.
Do you feel that the things Kevin likes will always be there because Kevin had a lot more years?
Yes, yes, but they're not all as important. So yes, the interest will probably still be there, but it's the weight that I place on those things that are different. And you know, at one time in my life, you know, four-wheelers and motorhomes and boats and all of those things were really important because my kids were young and we had resources to go do those things and experience was important. And and at some point, you know, those things became not very important at all. And so yes, I think those things will still be enjoyable and entertaining, but it's really more of what I'm willing to sacrifice for those things. And right now, there's just some things that I'm willing to sacrifice for more than others. That's all.
Brenda said, I'm straight, but you have given me so much confidence in myself.
Yay! Thank you for being here. I love
So
that.
nice, Brenda.
You know what? That really is important to me because I thought I was so delusional. You know, back growing up, I always felt like this was like a superpower. Like when I get to tell people what I understand, it's gonna blow their mind. And I thought that people were gonna be so inspired, but I waited too long, and then you know when Caitlyn Jenner came out, and then all of a sudden I started hearing all this negative stuff and this hate and whatever, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, maybe I'm not gonna. I thought that people were gonna go look at me and say, wow, if you can do that and be happy, if you're willing to do that and that's possible to be whole, then everything is possible. Then I can do more. I can try harder. I can get what I want to get, and that hasn't proven to be what's happened at all. So when you say that you've got confidence for me, thank you. That's all I want for you is confidence.
Brianna said, people forget that people are multifaceted beings, constantly evolving and growing and changing.
Yeah, isn't that true?
So good.
Isn't that true?
So fun. Oh.
It's going fast.
Oh. My trans partner came out to family. They think it's a mental condition. I don't know how to respond.
Of course, it's a mental condition. Now, mental illness, how could it not be after an extended period of time? Could you imagine feeling one way, being capable of this greatness and not being able to live it or have it or experience it? And you have to live somebody else's reality because that's what's comfortable for them. That's what makes them feel good and reassures the bias and the weaknesses in their life. And you have to live a different reality. How long could you be healthy? How long could you be strong up here and mentally happy and just looking forward to waking up in the morning and jumping out of bed and living your best life to just rush into a life that you don't even want, that doesn't represent you, that doesn't give you the abilities to have the conversations that are important and talk about things that are valuable to you. Yeah, it's going to become a mental illness for everybody, or they just have to compromise and give up, right?
Yeah.
So, is it mental? It's going to be mental, but is it healthy? It can be healthy if you let it be healthy.
So sweet.
Guys, we talk about different topics and deeper things and personal things too on Patreon, and we just started that, literally just started it. So if you choose to participate and help us out that way, you'll be one of the very, very first. But we've got so much planned and scheduled for that account. So you're welcome to go and check that out. You can get access all of that through just transalyssa.com, or go to our link tree, or access us that way. But thank you for being here, and thank you for asking the questions. What is it, sweetie?
Someone said we have amazing earlobes.
Really?
I've never heard that.
No.
Thank you.
Yes, let's
Huh.
get loby. Babe, lobe with me tonight. Lobe with me. Okay.
Thank you,
Hold on.
Denise. Thank you for all
Oh,
the hearts
thank you.
and the
Yes.
gifts tonight.
Yes, it's been so fun. Should I tear down, or should we go somewhere after?
Whatever you
Any
need,
questions
babe.
before we go? What made you choose the name Allyssa? Cal, that's such a good question. Andrea gave me that beautiful name. She gave me that beautiful name back when I was about 37 years old, and I'm 50 now. So I've had that name for a hot minute, and I've just been very happy with it.
Yes. Come out in any form is difficult, but I imagine it's more difficult as you get older. I'm proud of you. That's so
Oh, that
nice.
is sweet. Thank you. You can only get so far and pretend for so long. After age 40, your reality will hit you in the face.
Mhm.
That's an interesting point. Yes, and there is some truth to that. And it's not that it's a midlife crisis. Okay, I'm 50 years old. Almost nobody knew 3 years ago, or at least 5 years ago anyway. And at 50 years old, and now I'm living 50-50 at 50. Right? So what happened? Was it a midlife crisis? Is that what it was? No. No, it was a midlife awareness. It was that moment you look back and you say, I've lived 50 years of my life, and so few people even know what's important to me, have even seen me for how I want to be seen. And you start to realize that your days are less moving forward than looking back. And you don't want to waste any more of your health, of your mental energy, of your good skin, of just your time and energy that you have living somebody else's life to make them comfortable and make everybody else around you more secure. It's a midlife awareness. It's not a crisis, but it creates this sense of urgency to be free, and to be real and to be honest, and only allow those people in your sphere um, that value you. So that was a good comment.
So very encouraging. Thank you both.
Yes.
Did your wig ever come off or does it stay in place?
No, it stays in place. I barely. Now, these ones, because they're human hair, they're a little bit heavier, they're long, there's a lot of volume. You buy these wigs, you buy them by the number of strands, or the number of bundles, and then they take that number of bundles, however many you buy, and they put it together, and that will tell you how thick, how thin, how long. And so I got this is a really thick kind of wig and kind of heavy. So they put
Thank you for the flowers.
there's a band on the inside that's elastic, but then they put a second elastic band in there that's super tight. Like it's like construction helmet tight. So I actually just cut that out. That just gave me a headache. After half an hour of wearing that, I didn't want to wear a wig. So I cut that right out. Now it just kind of sits on my head, and I just, don't go crazy. But we did go to a club in Vegas. What was that club called? Do you remember what it was called? It wasn't the Aria, because that's the hotel. What was that Aria? What?
Booze food. Gotta let us
Yeah,
know.
what is that club? Anyway, but it stayed on during that.
That's
I think
true.
there may actually be a video on our link tree with us there. Where do you get
There's
that?
some
link?
in our TikTok too, on your TikTok.
Sarah, thank you. Thank you for being here. Oh, it was the Omnia. Yes, it was the Omnia. You were amazing. You were so like,
That was fun.
this girl can dance, like for real
For a
dance.
white girl?
Yes,
No.
she's incredible.
Thank you.
All right, so guys, there's also some blog
Thank
posts
you, Emily.
that you can get to through our Discord. So, and then you can do that with, there's some all access, all supporter access tiers, and then there's some other parts of the blog that you get, and some different articles that we have going on there. Right now, we're talking about the top 5 things that I believe are holding back the transgender, people, and so there's some
Thank
really
you,
neat
Courtney,
things
for
going on in there.
those
So go look at some of our other stuff on their Discord and talk to our beautiful people in Discord. I think you'll really understand a lot better just people's reality for sure.
Thank you, LEJ.
Elle, thank you. Yes, we should all shut down. We should all shut down. It's that time. So thank you guys for being here. Moderators, thank you for all your help. It's just been such a great time. So our new people are on, what is it, Rumble? So we streamed on Rumble, and I have no idea if even one person watched.
The blog is through Patreon,
But-
not Discord, I guess.
Oh, the blog is on Patreon. Oh, it's on our Patreon instead of our Discord. I was thinking there was a link there or something. I don't really even know.
Thank you,
Um,
Heather.
But anyway, yes, we did live stream tonight for the first time on a couple of
Virginia,
different
thank
platforms,
you.
and
Heather.
it's Rumble and I think was it Trovo, Rolo, Marco Polo? I don't even know. But thank you for being here, and we'll be back on Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for all your great
Thank
questions and
you.
keeping things very, very respectable.
So cute.
Have a great rest of your week.
Thank you for all the hearts.
Yeah, so much for the hearts.